From the earliest experimental aircraft of the First World War to the most advanced stealth fighters in modern aviation history, the evolution of American air power represents more than a century of continuous technological transformation. Each generation of aircraft introduced new levels of speed, firepower, and engineering precision, reshaping the nature of aerial combat and global warfare. This is not just a history of machines. It is the story of innovation, competition, and the constant pursuit of dominance in the skies. This is the complete evolution of American fighter aircraft. The Boeing P-26 Peashooter, introduced in 1932, was the first all-metal monoplane fighter to enter service with the United States Army Air Corps. It marked a major transition from older biplane designs to modern streamlined aircraft. Powered by a Pratt & Whitney R1340 radial engine, it could reach speeds of around 377 kilometers per hour. Although relatively fast for its time, it lacked armor protection and an enclosed cockpit in early versions, reflecting the transitional stage of aviation design. Its armament typically included 1 or 2.30 caliber machine guns, with later versions also carrying a .50 caliber heavy machine gun for improved firepower. While it was soon outclassed by faster European fighters, the P-26 played a critical role in modernizing U.S. air combat doctrine and pilot training during the interwar period. The Curtiss P-1 entered service in 1925 as one of the early pursuit aircraft of the United States Army Air Service. It was based on earlier experimental Curtiss designs but improved for military standardization. It was powered by a Curtiss V1150 liquid-cooled engine, allowing speeds of approximately 240 kilometers per hour. The aircraft was built primarily from a combination of metal and fabric, typical of its era. Its armament consisted of 2 synchronized .30 caliber machine guns mounted in the forward fuselage, firing through the propeller arc. The P-1 was not designed for heavy combat, but rather for patrol, interception training, and development of aerial combat tactics. It helped establish the foundation of American fighter development in the 1920s. The Curtiss P-6, introduced in 1930, represented an improved evolution of earlier Hawk designs. It featured better aerodynamics, a more powerful Curtiss V1570 engine, and enhanced performance characteristics. It could reach speeds close to 320 kilometers per hour and had improved climb rate compared to earlier biplane fighters. Its standard armament included 2.30 caliber machine guns, with some variants upgraded to .50 caliber weapons for increased lethality. The P-6 was widely regarded as one of the last effective biplane fighters used by the United States. It served as a transitional aircraft, bridging the gap between early aviation and the modern monoplane fighter era. The Curtiss P-36, introduced in 1935, was one of the first modern monoplane fighters of the United States Army Air Corps. It marked the transition from older biplane designs to fully metal, low-wing aircraft with retractable landing gear. Powered by a Pratt & Whitney R1830 radial engine, it reached speeds of approximately 500 kilometers per hour. Its design emphasized maneuverability and structural simplicity rather than heavy armor or extreme firepower. The aircraft was typically armed with 1.50 caliber machine gun and 1 or 2.30 caliber machine guns synchronized to fire through the propeller arc. Although it was soon surpassed by faster designs, the P-36 served as an important stepping stone that directly led to more advanced fighters used during World War II. The Curtiss P-40 Warhawk, first flown in 1938, became one of the most widely produced American fighters of early World War II. It was developed as an evolution of the P-36 platform with a more powerful Allison V1710 engine. It reached speeds of around 580 kilometers per hour and was known for its rugged construction and reliability in harsh combat conditions. Its standard armament consisted of 2.50 caliber machine guns in the nose and 2 additional .50 caliber machine guns in the wings, giving it strong firepower for its time. While not the fastest aircraft, it played a crucial role in early Allied air operations across North Africa, the Pacific, and China. The Bell P-39 Airacobra, introduced in 1941, featured one of the most unusual designs of any American fighter. Its engine was mounted in the center of the fuselage, behind the pilot, driving a nose-mounted cannon through a drive shaft. It was powered by an Allison V1710 engine and reached speeds of about 590 kilometers per hour at low to medium altitude. Its main weapon was a powerful 37mm cannon firing through the propeller hub, supported by .50 caliber machine guns. Although it performed poorly at high altitude, It became highly effective in low-level combat and was widely used by Soviet forces under Lend-Lease. The Lockheed P-38 Lightning, introduced in 1941, was a distinctive twin-boom fighter designed for long-range missions and high performance. Powered by two Allison V1710 engines, it could reach speeds of over 660 kilometers per hour and had exceptional range compared to other fighters of its era. Its armament was concentrated in the nose and included one 20mm cannon and 4.50 caliber machine guns, allowing for extremely accurate fire. The P-38 played a major role in both the European and Pacific theaters, including interception, escort, and ground attack missions. The Republic P-47 Thunderbolt, introduced in 1942, was one of the heaviest and most powerful single-engine fighters of World War II. Powered by a massive Pratt & Whitney R2800 radial engine, it could reach speeds of over 690 kilometers per hour. It was heavily armed with 8.50 caliber machine guns, making it extremely effective in both air-to-air combat and ground attack missions. The aircraft became famous for its durability, often surviving heavy battle damage and still returning safely to base. The North American P-51 Mustang, introduced in 1942, is widely regarded as one of the greatest fighter aircraft of World War II. Equipped with a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, it achieved speeds of up to 700 kilometers per hour and had exceptional long-range capability. Its armament consisted of 6.50 caliber machine guns mounted in the wings. The P-51 played a decisive role in escorting bombers deep into enemy territory over Europe, helping achieve Allied air superiority. The Grumman F-4F Wildcat entered service in 1940 as the primary carrier-based fighter of the United States Navy in the early years of World War II. Powered by a Pratt & Whitney radial engine, it reached speeds of around 512 kilometers per hour. It was armed with 4.50 caliber machine guns and was known for its rugged durability and ability to absorb damage. Although eventually outperformed by newer Japanese fighters, it remained effective due to pilot skill and tactical advantages. The Grumman F-6F Hellcat, introduced in 1943, was designed specifically to dominate enemy carrier-based aircraft in the Pacific theater. Powered by a Pratt & Whitney R2800 engine, it could reach speeds of over 610 kilometers per hour. Its armament included 6.50 caliber machine guns and the ability to carry bombs or rockets for ground attack missions. The Hellcat became one of the most successful naval fighters in history, credited with destroying thousands of enemy aircraft. The Vought F-4U Corsair, first introduced in 1942, was a powerful carrier-based fighter with a distinctive inverted gull-wing design. Powered by a Pratt & Whitney R2800 engine, it reached speeds of up to 718 kilometers per hour. It was armed with 6.50 caliber machine guns and could carry bombs and rockets for strike missions. The Corsair became famous in the Pacific theater for its speed, firepower, and dominance in aerial combat. The Bell P-59 Aerocomet, first flown in 1942, was the United States' first jet-powered fighter aircraft. Developed during World War II, it marked the beginning of American jet aviation, although it never reached combat effectiveness. Powered by two General Electric J-31 turbojet engines, it had a top speed of around 660 kilometers per hour. However, its performance was inferior to contemporary piston-engine fighters, limiting its operational value. Its armament typically included one 37mm cannon and several .50 caliber machine guns, mounted in the nose section. Despite its limitations, the P-59 played a crucial experimental role, helping pilots and engineers understand jet propulsion and paving the way for future high-performance jet fighters. The Lockheed P-80 Shooting Star, introduced in 1944, was the first operational jet fighter used by the United States Army Air Forces. Powered by a single Allison J-33 turbojet engine, it could reach speeds of approximately 970 kilometers per hour, making it a significant leap over earlier jet designs. Its armament consisted of 6.50 caliber machine guns mounted in the nose, providing concentrated and accurate firepower. Although it arrived too late for World War II combat, it saw extensive service during the early Cold War and the Korean War, establishing the foundation of modern American jet fighter design. The Republic F-84 Thunderjet, first flown in 1946, was one of the earliest post-war jet fighters developed by the United States. Powered by an Allison J-35 turbojet engine, it reached speeds of around 1,000 kilometers per hour. Its standard armament included 6.50 caliber machine guns, and it was also capable of carrying bombs and rockets for ground attack missions. The F-84 saw extensive combat service during the Korean War, where it was used primarily in fighter-bomber roles, providing close air support and strategic strike capability. The North American F-86 Sabre, introduced in 1947, was America's first swept-wing jet fighter and one of the most important aircraft of the early Cold War. Powered by a General Electric J-47 turbojet engine, it could reach speeds of over 1,100 kilometers per hour. Its armament consisted of 6.50 caliber machine guns, and later versions were equipped with radar-assisted targeting systems. The F-86 achieved air superiority during the Korean War, where it successfully engaged Soviet-designed MiG-15 fighters in high-speed aerial combat. The North American F-82 twin Mustang, first introduced in 1945, was a unique long-range escort fighter developed by combining two P-51 Mustang fuselages. Powered by two Packard Merlin engines, it had exceptional range and endurance, designed for long escort missions over the Pacific. Its armament varied by configuration but typically included 6.50 caliber machine guns and provisions for rockets or bombs. Although it arrived at the end of World War II, it saw significant combat service during the early Korean War, particularly in night fighter and escort roles. The North American F-100 Super Sabre, introduced in 1954, was the first operational United States Air Force fighter capable of supersonic speed in level flight. Powered by a Pratt & Whitney J57 turbojet engine, it could exceed speeds of 1,200 kilometers per hour, marking a major breakthrough in jet performance. Its primary armament included four 20mm M39 cannons, and it was also capable of carrying bombs, rockets, and nuclear weapons for tactical strike missions. The F-100 played a significant role during the early Cold War, particularly in ground attack operations and nuclear deterrence strategies. The McDonnell F-101 Voodoo, introduced in 1957, was a long-range supersonic fighter designed for escort, interception, and reconnaissance missions. Powered by two Pratt & Whitney J57 engines, it reached speeds of over 1,800 kilometers per hour. Its armament included four 20mm M39 cannons, along with the capability to carry air-to-air missiles such as the AIM-4 Falcon. The F-101 served in both air defense and strategic reconnaissance roles during the Cold War, particularly over North America. The Convair F-102 Delta Dagger, first flown in 1956, was the United States' first operational supersonic interceptor designed under the Century Series program. Powered by a Pratt & Whitney J57 engine, it was capable of speeds around Mach 1.25. Its armament consisted of guided air-to-air missiles stored internally, including the AIM-4 Falcon and Air-2 Genie nuclear rocket. The F-102 was designed primarily for air defense against Soviet bombers during the Cold War. The Convair F-106 Delta Dart, introduced in 1959, was considered one of the most advanced interceptors of its time. Powered by an improved Pratt & Whitney J75 engine, it could reach speeds of over Mach 2. It carried advanced radar-guided missiles and nuclear air-to-air weapons, including the Air-2 Genie. The F-106 served as the primary air defense interceptor for the United States throughout much of the Cold War. The McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II, introduced in 1960, became one of the most versatile and widely used fighter aircraft in military history. Powered by two General Electric J79 engines, it could exceed speeds of Mach 2.2. Its armament included air-to-air missiles such as the AIM-7 Sparrow and AIM-9 Sidewinder, along with bombs and rockets for strike missions. The F-4 served extensively in Vietnam, NATO forces, and Allied air forces worldwide, proving its adaptability in multiple combat roles. The Lockheed F-104 Starfighter, introduced in 1958, was a high-speed interceptor designed for extreme performance. Powered by a General Electric J79 engine, it could reach speeds above Mach 2.2. Its design prioritized speed and climb rate over maneuverability, and it was armed with a single 20mm M61 Vulcan cannon and missile capability. The F-104 served in multiple NATO air forces and became known for its distinctive missile-like shape and high-performance flight characteristics. The McDonnell Douglas F-15 Eagle, introduced in 1976, was developed as a dedicated air superiority fighter for the United States Air Force. Powered by two Pratt & Whitney F-100 turbofan engines, it can reach speeds of over Mach 2.5 and maintain exceptional climb and acceleration performance. Its primary armament includes the M61 Vulcan 20mm rotary cannon, supported by advanced air-to-air missiles such as the AIM-7 Sparrow and AIM-9 Sidewinder. The F-15 was designed with one goal: to gain and maintain dominance in air combat, and it remains one of the most successful fighter aircraft ever built. The General Dynamics F-16 Fighting Falcon, introduced in 1978, is a lightweight multi-role fighter designed for high maneuverability and cost-effective combat performance. Powered by a Pratt & Whitney F100 or General Electric F110 engine depending on variant, it reaches speeds of over Mach 2. Its armament includes a 20mm M61 Vulcan cannon and a wide range of air-to-air and air-to-ground missiles. The F-16 introduced fly-by-wire control systems, making it one of the most agile and widely exported fighter aircraft in the world. The Grumman F-14 Tomcat, introduced in 1974, was a carrier-based interceptor designed for fleet air defense. Powered by two Pratt & Whitney TF-30 or later F110 engines, it could reach speeds of over Mach 2.3. Its most famous feature is the variable sweep wing system, allowing optimal performance at both high and low speeds. It was armed with a 20mm M61 Vulcan cannon and carried long-range AIM-54 Phoenix missiles, capable of engaging multiple targets at extreme distances. The F-14 served as the backbone of U.S. Navy air defense for decades. The McDonnell Douglas F/A-18 Hornet, introduced in 1983, is a carrier-capable multi-role fighter designed for both air combat and ground attack missions. Powered by two General Electric F404 engines, it reaches speeds of around Mach 1.8. Its armament includes a 20mm M61 Vulcan cannon, along with AIM-7, AIM-9, and later AIM-120 missiles, as well as bombs and precision-guided munitions. The F/A-18 became a key aircraft for both the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps, valued for its versatility and reliability in combat operations. The Northrop F-5 Freedom Fighter, later upgraded to the Tiger II, was introduced in the early 1960s as a lightweight, low-cost supersonic fighter. Powered by two General Electric J-85 engines, it can reach speeds of over Mach 1.6. Its armament typically includes two 20mm cannons and air-to-air missiles such as the AIM-9 Sidewinder. The F-5 was widely exported and used by allied nations around the world, serving as a training, interception, and light combat aircraft. The Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor, introduced in 2005, is a fifth-generation stealth air superiority fighter designed for dominance in modern aerial combat. Powered by two Pratt & Whitney F119 engines with thrust vectoring capability, it can exceed speeds of Mach 2.0 and maintain supercruise flight without afterburners. Its armament includes the M61 Vulcan 20mm cannon, along with advanced air-to-air missiles such as the AIM-120 AMRAAM and AIM-9 Sidewinder, carried internally to preserve stealth performance. The F-22 combines stealth technology, extreme agility, and advanced sensor fusion, allowing it to detect and engage enemy aircraft before being detected itself. It remains one of the most advanced air superiority fighters ever built. The Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II, introduced in 2015, is a fifth-generation multi-role stealth fighter designed for modern network-centric warfare. Powered by a Pratt & Whitney F-135 engine, it reaches speeds of around Mach 1.6 and is optimized for stealth, situational awareness, and multi-domain operations. Its armament includes a 25mm GAU-22/A internal cannon, along with a wide range of air-to-air and air-to-ground precision-guided weapons carried internally or externally depending on mission requirements. The F-35 integrates advanced sensor fusion, radar systems, and data-sharing capabilities, allowing it to act as a central node in modern battlefield networks across air, land, and sea operations. From fragile early biplanes to supersonic stealth fighters, the evolution of American air combat has been defined by constant innovation and adaptation. Each aircraft in this journey reflected the technological limits and ambitions of its time, pushing the boundaries of speed, design, and combat capability. Today, modern fighters continue to evolve, integrating artificial intelligence, advanced sensors, and networked warfare systems that redefine the future of aerial combat. But the story is far from over. The skies will always remain a frontier of innovation.